What do my Fitbit, Leonardo DiCaprio's dating history, and what I do for a living have in common? The answer is data. So when most people think about data, this is what they imagine, and they're not far from the truth. But how we use data can dramatically impact how our business performs. So let's start with Leo. Leo DiCaprio has the reputation for refusing to date a woman over the age of 25, and so as you look at the orange line here, it has a direct correlation with the number of years he's been on this earth, and it is fairly solid. Every year that goes by, he ages a year, right? That's the way it works with most people. So across the bottom of the screen, you can see his dating history, the relationships that he's been involved in, and some short, some longer term, but it's the data that we can track and report on is that when his serious relationships, or not, when he's dating somebody that hits the age of 25, the relationship ceases to continue. So on the far right, you can see Camilla. She's the ripe old age of 21 in 2019. And so she's got kind of a roadmap that she could point back to and see kind of, I've got a few years left here, and then I need to start kind of thinking about what I'm going to do with the rest of my life, because surely Leo's not going to keep me around, right? As fantastic as Camilla is. So, and I think Leo is fine. This is just a funny commentary on his dating past. But again, this can be predictive for somebody's future. If I'm Camilla, I'm going to start to see a pattern and start to make decisions based on the past, right? So the data from the past can impact our decisions from the future. My Fitbit. So I recently got my Fitbit probably 3-4 months ago, and it does amazing things in terms of tracking my activity. It tracks my sleep, my resting heart rate. I input the food that I eat, and then I can track how I feel and look back at data and see this is what I ate that day. This is how active I was, and how do I feel after that. And if I just got this on one day, slapped it on May 27th, and took a look at my stats, that's fairly impressive data. But the real value here is the data over time. So tracking my performance, what I'm eating, my activity over many months and years to come, I'm going to be able to determine much more in terms of what I am, how my behavior impacts the way I feel. The same can be said for the way we market our businesses. And so marketing is essentially the way we communicate our message to our audience. And there are several methods that we can use to deliver that content. I'm just going to talk about a few high levels so you can see, so we can just get on the same page. So first, email is probably the most common method that people are using to market their service. And if you've seen a presentation from me, you've probably seen this before. So this email content, we basically wrote this message, and the example here is Rachel, and she downloaded a white paper, so we sent her this email, and we sent this email actually as a follow-up and to position another follow-up white paper that she may benefit from. So if she downloaded this thing, she may also be interested in this thing, let's say. But what this is, it's basically like a merge field letter, right? So if we're looking at this from a structural standpoint, we've got the same basic body in here with merge tags in here that we can swap out at any point in time with specific data to the person that's receiving this email. So the first letter was to Rachel. The second letter is to Mark, let's say, and he downloaded a different white paper, so that content is going to slightly tweak, but the basic structure stays the same. So we've written one email and input merge tags, and we can use this same email essentially no matter what white paper somebody downloads. That's email, and you guys are very familiar with that probably. Text message, I don't have to show you. You got text message marketing when you buy a burrito, or when you get a pedicure, or whatever. You're getting probably loyalty messages, and that's coupons. So you're giving your mobile phone number in exchange for saving $10 on your next massage, let's say. And so it's a trade-off of information for value. But site messaging, that's kind of more recent probably. And so when you're browsing the website, if you're on a certain page for a certain number of seconds, or you hit the same page multiple times, maybe a box pops up and they're asking if if you have any questions. It's a chat essentially, whether it's automated or whether it's a live person on the other side. It's basically a chat window, and it's there to provide a good service to you, but also it provides a service to the business because it helps you along the path toward closing a sale. So that's interesting. Service to you, service to them. Social retargeting, things like that. You're probably all familiar with this as well. And this is an example from my Facebook page, but it's the same thing in LinkedIn and Twitter and other services, that these snapshots, these ads, are basically ads that somebody has paid to put here based on my browsing history, and they're trying to retarget me so I can click this image or link and go back to the site that I'd already visited before, or a similar site, and kind of continue down that purchase process. And then the next thing is a phone call. So we can do outbound phone calls based on data to deliver our message. So those are some delivery messages that we help our clients with all the day. It's not the extent of what we do, but those are just some of the methods that we're able to help with. But the next question is, how do we decide when to send messages and then what to send? And that really comes down to how we analyze the data. And if we can analyze data once manually, the digital data here, we can also dynamically analyze the data somebody's based on how we want to communicate. So that's done effectively two ways: user behavior, so how somebody is engaging with our content. Are they opening emails? Are they clicking links? Are they watching videos, downloading white papers, or is it a timing thing? We haven't engaged in a month or two, so let's hit you back and see if we can warm up that relationship again. And basically, we do this with a decision tree on the back end of the website here. You can see the top line at here, the contact visits this particular page, and that's the trigger for the actions that follow. The next step is determining, does a contact meet this criteria or do they meet this criteria? So let's say they meet the yes criteria here, and then we're going to add a tag or like a keyword. Let's classify the contact as somebody who's interested in this product because they visited this page 5 times within a 30-day period, or they've been scrolling up and down a lot trying to get more information. We can track that and then assign the appropriate value to that contact. But if if they don't meet that criteria, let's say they're either mildly interested, they've gone to the page 3 times in the past month, or they're very interested, they've gone to this one page, the product page on our website, 10 times in the past week. They're very interested, so let's kind of follow up automatically based on their behavior. Next is an example of a timing-based sequence. So this is for a commerce site, and let's say somebody added a product to their cart, but they didn't make it to their thank you for purchasing page. We can track that as well. So you can see here that trigger is they've added this to the cart. Now we've started this automation, and let's wait for, let's say, 3 hours. And if they haven't made it to that thank you for purchasing page, then let's hit them with an email and say, hey, was there anything that we could have done differently? Did you lose something in your cart? Did you forget something? Did you forget to check out? Is there anything we can do to help you get the product that we know you're looking for? And so a lot of times that can engage somebody, bring somebody back to the cart and get them to go through that checkout process. Here's another example of lead scoring. So a contact reads one of our emails and we can assign them a point, but not all traffic is created equal. So maybe they open multiple emails. We're going to give them a point for every email they open, but maybe they click a link and maybe that's worth more than 1 point. Maybe that's worth 5 points. Maybe they watch a video on our site and that's worth, let's say a score of 20 points. Maybe they download something and that's worth 50 points. And then once somebody gets to 80 or 100 points, we're going to flag our sales team to reach out and see if they can assist in any way. It's closing that sale, but also providing a service to that business. So what we see here is that Jan on this side here meets all of the qualifications. She's very engaged with her content. She's probably escalating toward a readiness to buy. So let's engage with Jan. Let's have a salesperson reach out and help Jan figure out what she is looking for so that we can help her with that purchase. And Joan is just not ready yet. She's only opened a few emails. She's clicked a few links. She's downloaded a few documents, but not yet ready for that purchase. So we can continue to escalate, push Joan down the path or lead Joan down the path toward a purchase. And what this does is this helps raise our revenue because we're escalating the people down that path, ushering them down toward the purchase, which helps us. And then we're also lowering expenses because we're not spending money on ads to people that are not really engaged with their content. We're kind of setting that bar such that we're not going to waste dollars on people that are just not interested in our content. And so it's taking our content, which 20, 30, 50 years ago was very just mass. Let's blast as many people as we can and see what sticks. So now we're getting super targeted. Let's only engage with people who are interested and can have a strong chance of closing sometime soon. And let's nurture the others toward that purchase. These are the digital marketing tools you need so customers choose you every time.